Hey guys, so we're going to be going over naming and identifying points, lines, parallel lines, perpendicular lines, line segments, and angles. This is very useful when it comes to reading notation in geometry problems and also writing it as well. So let's start off with the most basic part when we have a point. So when we're naming a point, we always want to use a capital letter, and we always want to use a letter that's different from any other names on the points given. So here I'm just going to write capital F. If we want to identify it, we can simply just write point and then whatever the letter is. So let's say point A. I'm talking about point A, and then a sentence will follow along. Alright, so when we are naming a line, we would either name it by the two endpoints or the lowercase letter that's given. Same thing for when we draw it, we can draw it the same way. But if you're drawing it, you don't need to put all of this. You can just put one or the other. So let's say we're trying to identify it. So one way is by using the two endpoints. So we would write CD, and we would draw just a small line above it, and just make sure you have arrows above those letters, because that will indicate that it's a line. Another way of identifying it is just by writing line line M. And those are pretty much your two ways. Okay, so let's say we're dealing with parallel lines. Alright, so pretty much we're building up on these same concepts. We can either use the endpoints or the letters. So if I want to note that these two lines are parallel, I would first write HI, and the symbol for parallel. Sometimes you'll see these as two vertical lines, but I like to draw them slanted. So you have two slanted lines, which is a symbol for parallel lines, and then you write the other line as well. So here this one says HI is parallel to FG. You could have also written line P is parallel to line T. And of course you can do some other combination. You didn't have to use the whole line. You could have said FG, and let's say we're just focused on FG as the line segment, you would just draw a straight line with nothing at the ends. So line segment FG is parallel, and I could use the whole thing too, is parallel to line HI. Line segment FG is parallel to line HI. And there's a whole bunch of combinations you can do, but whichever combination you can do will still be the correct combination and read correctly as two parallel lines. Alright, let's move on to perpendicular lines. So here I have the same situation. One major thing, lines are perpendicular only when you are either told in words or you're given the indicator of the right angle. So with that being said, we can say line PT, so I'm going to use the symbols, is perpendicular. Now you want to use an upside down capital T to symbolize perpendicular. It's perpendicular to line segment AB. I'll just switch it up here. So that's one way of writing it. I can write line M is perpendicular to line S. I can do that, and then I can do any other combination, just like I did with the parallel lines. Now coming to line segments, I actually already covered it, but you would just write a single bar. So here we would write line segment XY, and that's pretty much it. Last but not least, we have angles. There's a few ways of naming angles, but you always want to make sure that your vertex point is either just by itself or in the middle of your naming. So what do I mean by that? So I want to identify this, I want to name this angle, so I can name it angle A, B, C. And notice that the vertex point is in the middle. I could also name it angle, I'm pressing way too hard, I could also name it angle CBA, and again the vertex point is in the middle. I can also name it angle B, where I don't need these two endpoints on the line, because angle B is the only angle that we're looking at. And that's pretty much it. Sometimes you'll see a symbol inside the actual angle right here. You can also name it that as well. So angle whatever the symbol inside is here. Let's say you are in a situation where you actually have multiple angles happening inside of a single angle. So let me call this D here. So how can I identify this angle up here? Well, I would need to write it as angle A, B, and then D. So A, B, D. My vertex point is still B, but now my new endpoint is going to be point D because I'm only talking about this upper angle. And then the same thing for this bottom angle here. I'm going to label it angle, and I'm going to start here D, B, C. So angle D, B, C, and that means I'm talking about this bottom angle here. And that's pretty much it. These are very important to know how to write and read. They will definitely help you later on down the road when you're doing more complex problems. And that's pretty much it. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below, like and subscribe, and I'll make another video later. Bye!